Good for you. On Sunday, the kids did a brunch, and Lorene had papers on the table, and you could write something down about Leon and Ellen, and then she had us get up and read them. So we're not doing that tonight, but if there's anyone here who would like to say something to them, good, bad, or indifferent. You maybe you said something Sunday and you wish you'd said something else, or if you weren't there Sunday, you're welcome to do that now.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Well, it's time to say goodbye to you again. You did this before, but it just seems a little bit harder this time. Say goodbye to you. You was invited here when we gone through a rough patch in our church. And after you was here as a guest speaker, something must have told you to come back and preach to us. And you did. And you have worked so hard since you've been here, you and Ellen. It's just, you healed us. And our church has grown since you've been here. And you stuck with us till we got a preacher. And I just want to say thank you for working so good and loving us so much. And you're really going to be missed.
Amen.
Yes, they are.
I thought about this after I left, because I wrote something goofy, and then I felt bad because I had some more meaningful to say, but I had a mentor once tell me that sometimes God, when you're on the path with God, sometimes God sends a force, and that person picks you up and carries you forward over the rocks and everything, and then puts you back down, and you're much better for it. And I feel like that's what you did for us. You carried us forward. Thank you so much.
Amen.
I hope this isn't the last time we see you. But we really enjoyed coming here. The family. I love your sermons.
I'll keep my prayer bench ready for you and Alan again.
You guys really need prayer bench on the back there.
Yeah, my cat will miss you too.
And our door is always open to you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, I remember when they came the first time, of course, and they weren't here all that long, but there's always been a special place in my heart for them, and I know that it was God that led you back here. And my heart is broken, and yet I know that, as Leon said, we held you loosely, but you filled in for us and brought us down the road much better than I could even imagine. And mostly, I admire you for your compassion. Hauling people to the doctor, sitting outside the door while someone's operated on, going to Frederick to the hospital. The compassion with both of you is just a God-given thing. And thank you very much.
Amen.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Judy. I kind of aimed that right at you, my last comment, but Ellen, you are you're like a secret, kind person that does a lot behind the scenes, and you've done so much for us, and you're so loving and kind, and I mean, you even learned to play piano for us. I know. How can you give me that?
I made the announcement on Sunday, and I'll make it again.
when I volunteered to play the piano here, it's because there was a severe need for someone to do it, but I didn't feel competent at all. And I really struggled with it, and I said, I don't know why God is trying to direct me to do this, because this isn't where my talents lie. And Leon heard me a lot complain about this isn't where my talents lie. I'm still not the greatest pianist, but I want you to know that I have moved up 2 levels
Yes.
in
We
my
can tell.
advancements of the piano since I had to play for you people. So I played a piece this morning while we were getting ready to leave, and Leon was still upstairs getting dressed, and I was ready. So I set the piano, and he came in and sat down, and I didn't stop playing. I said, I turned like this and said, I'm going to finish this piece. When I got done, I said, now you realize that that's an advanced level there.
And Lorraine?
Among 100 things, all good that I could say, thank you for bringing laughter and the joy of the Lord into this place. And I will love you, no matter where you are or I am. Which is buckets and oceans full.
So in case you think I've gone to ministry, I guess some of you know, but 5 minutes after I got the text from Judy saying that the vote had been unanimous for Pastor Dillon, 5 minutes after that, I got a text from one of the church leaders at the Harmony Church of the Brethren. Now, that's the church I went to after I left here.
Yes, you did.
The first time.
The first time, when I left here, and then my next church was Harmony's. 5 minutes after Judy's text that Dylan had a unanimous vote, I got a text from them saying, Pastor Eddie Edmonds, who lives in West Virginia, he retired the same time I did from Moeller Avenue, Church of the Brethren in Martinsburg. And he's been doing various other things. He just finished a interim as one of the DEs for this district. You had Joe Dietrich, and he served some other ones. But anyway, this text said, Pastor Eddie Edmonds is interested in coming to preach here for us, but he would like a team, and he would like 2 of us too. And would you be willing to join them? Well, I said yes. We said yes.
Praise the Lord.
So starting in January again, 3 years after I started here, I'll be sharing a pastorate with Pastor Eddie Edmonds. So I will be 2 Sundays a month in the pulpit and so on. And like here, you still have a lot of good friends in that congregation too. So it's going from one group of people we love to another group of people that we love, and a few more that we'll have to learn to know once we get there that weren't there 40 years ago.
Yeah, for Diane and Glenn's benefit, Leon was here 45 years ago for 2 years, and this was his first church. That's where that background's coming in.
And then we were at Harmony for 15 years right after that. So, yeah. And then when we told our children, they said, and then are you going to go to Bradford and end up back at Greencastle? And we said, well, we don't know what the
I don't know if
future.
I'm good for another full 40 years. That'd be pretty rough.
Anyone else? Okay, well, I want to say thank God for both of you, and thank God for both of you, and that God mastered you two together. Thank you for your dedication to this community of faith during this interim. Leon, you and Ellen do definitely work hard. You support each other in every way, your home life and in the ministry profession. Leon, you are a true example of patience, understanding, love, encouragement, and professionalism as a pastor. Ellen, you are the greatest example of a pastor's helpmate that I have ever known. You give Leon support 24 hours a day in every way. Ellen, you allowed yourself to be stretched beyond what you thought was a measure by providing us with your pianist talents. We've enjoyed your hymn stories to match a hymn on Sundays. And about that open house, Ellen, that question to me was, do you think they'll come? And I said, yes. For those who were not here the first go-around, that they had an open house at Christmas over here in the parsonage when they were living there, and we came there also. You both have been blessed with a beautiful family, and with your faith have raised 4 children, all of which graduated from college as professionals: a lawyer, a grief counselor, an engineer, and a pharmacist. Is a true blessing, but not without hard work and sacrifice. Bivocational working with young children needs a devoted helpmate. Ellen and the children spent many Sunday afternoons at the church building while you made your hospital and other visits. When the time was right, Ellen too entered into the educational workforce. You both have given Thurmont your all, and I'm so glad you had a second round. Thurmont cannot thank you enough for your service, care, love, and giving of yourselves. But we can surely ask God to continue to be the force in you both. And we know harmony will benefit just as much as us. Thurmont Church of the Brethren congregation will continue to hold you dear. And when your quarantine's up, come back and visit.
Yes.
Quarantine meeting, he's not supposed to be in the midst of the new pastor for a year. So in next September, they can come and visit and do whatever.
That doesn't mean we can't go see them, right?
And I know it's all so hard for people to understand, and every time we've been called to another congregation, people say, well, that's not right, that's not fair, you know, and yet, I was at a congregation, one of the congregations one of the congregations that I went to, pastor didn't stay away, okay? And they were critical, they wanted me to do it like they had done it, and that made it difficult. Yeah, I outlasted them, because they finally moved on, and I stayed. Not that I chased them away, but so I would do that, but that's part of the ethics that pastors are expected to do. That's just so we don't interfere with one another's ministry. Even if you're not interfering, if I show up and you're all saying, "Oh, so glad to see you," and Pastor Dillon is like, my chopped liver, even if nobody would intend, but it might feel that way, and so he needs to have a chance to really become your pastor, and you'll fall in love with him too, and I trust that will happen. But yeah, it's not like, okay, we don't like you guys for a year. That's not it. We want Pastor Dillon to have a chance to be the pastor.
Yes.
Before the person you've been thinking of as your pastor, shows up. And you just don't want an ex-girlfriend showing up. Everyone's good at saving paper, so.
that paper's 50 years old, so don't matter. That's why it pieced together at 4 o'clock, I remembered I didn't get paper. I had to dig in my china closet.
Well, it looked new to me.
Hey, you found it at your mother's house, right?
I was just gonna say, well, I found some 71-year-old wedding paper this week at my mother's house. And wedding gifts that had never been used.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Here.
now you have to
We'll
read
let
that.
you look at it after we read. There's to the devoted pastor and the faithful wife on there. I'll read it to you. Since most of you probably won't be able to read it from there. I'll try to read it from here. What a blessing you are as a faithful shepherd of the flock, as a man of God whose life serves and honors him. Your devotion to this calling is deeply respected and held in high regard. Respect those who work hard among you, who are over you in the Lord, and who admonish you. Hold them in highest regard and love because of their work. 1 Thessalonians 5:12 and 13. And then the faithful wife.
What a blessing you are in your service to the Lord as a devoted wife and helpmate to your husband and as a believer whose identity is in Christ. Your love and care are beautiful examples of a faithful heart. She speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. Proverbs 31:26. What a blessing you have been in this life as a devoted pastor and a faithful wife.
Amen.
Thank you so
I
much.
didn't think anything would fit any better than that.
That means a lot. Beautiful three-dimensional car.
And then a check for $200 from the congregation. Thank you.
You're very well.
Okay, so I'd like to close with our song that we have started closing with. It'll still be on the screen.